What sparked concerns, first off, of an early election being called?
Well, first of all, as you were saying, Matteo Renzi signaled that he would not be against it, and also the fact that the major parties are starting to come to an agreement on an electoral law, and that's what you need to go vote. Right now, the electoral system is very complex, and once the parties agree on a new electoral law, then there's nothing hindering us from going to early vote. And Matteo Renzi is pushing pretty hard to go to that vote, and that's making markets very nervous.
Why? I mean, the FTSE MIB stock index yesterday and Friday combined had its biggest two-day drop in more than 5 weeks. Is the possibility of the five-star party coming in the biggest concern here?
Yes, absolutely. I think in general markets don't like uncertainty, and an election is uncertainty. We don't know what kind of electoral law they're going to agree on. It seems it's going to be a proportional law that could create you could result in a hung parliament. That makes investors very nervous because then you won't know no reform process will be stopped. The economy could suffer, and yes, of course, the five-star, the Italian populist anti-Euro party could win the elections. Right now they're 30-30. They're neck and neck with Renzi's party, so 30% each, that's not a lot. It means they'll have to form alliances. It's a very uncertain, very stressful situation. But Renzi said it could be even worse if we wait longer. He says, let's just hurry it up, do it, even if the markets react badly, and get it over with. If we wait until May or something along those lines in 2018, it could be much worse.
Let me just draw your attention to spreads, periphery spreads here. We've got a chart on the Bloomberg G #BTV 1803. This is Spain and Italy spreads from Germany, but you can see it's gone up to almost a little more than 2 and then recovered a little bit. A lot of this, I think, has to do with concerns about NPLs on Italian bank sheets, something completely separate, obviously, but also that would possibly be in jeopardy if the elections go wrong. How are those NPLs shaping up? How is the banking crisis in Italy shaping up?
That's an even more complex issue, and it's very difficult to resolve. We're talking about around 360 billion, and that's just one estimate. There are different estimates going around depending how you calculated it. But 360 billion euros. There's different banks concerned. For now, it seems that MPS, which sort of caused all of this in some ways, is going to be saved, although it's not a straight path for this bank either. But the problem now is there are these two smaller banks, the Veneto banks, and the EU is sort of saying, well, it's time for a bail-in. It's time, they want a head, and the Italian government is saying no bail-in. So there's a lot of tension, and you can imagine with elections, it's going to be even worse. And also, just the debate with the EU is just going to be all electoral. So there's not going to be much room for negotiation and for being reasonable, because you want to please electors.